Will Cook, Wigan's manager, said the defining point of the game was Arthur Masuaku sending off. It was about all he got wrong the whole afternoon. The defining moment came before a ball had been kicked. Around 1:30 p.m. last Thursday, when West Ham manager David Moyes turned his attention to Wigan's FA Cup win in 2013. If you went back and asked the Wigan people what they'd rather have, he said they'd rather not win the FA Cup, but stay in the Premier League. At that moment, West Ham's race was run, if the result was not embarrassment enough. Worse was that it does not even count as a shock because bookmakers made Wigan favourites before kick-off. Imagine that. Long before Masuaku was rightly sent off for spitting at Nick Powell, a League One club was favoured to beat the 11th placed team in the Premier League. That is something of an indictment of West Ham's attitude to the competition, and it starts at the top. No one should presume to speak for Wigan's fans, but it's a fair guess a number of them would take issues with Moyes' appraisal. Few things are more disrespectful in football than spitting at a fellow professional. I was spat at during my career and it feels degrading. We do not want to see it in the game. Masuaku may have been frustrated and embarrassed that his team were being beaten by a League One side, but there is no excuse for what he did. The FA need to send a strong message that spitting is unacceptable this season. Masuaku has been a very important player for West Ham. Now he faces a 6-game ban which would see him miss almost half of their remaining Premier League games. His manager David Moyes did not hide after the game and dealt with the incident well. But losing Masuaku at a time when key figures such as Manuel Lanzini, Andy Carroll and Marco Arnautovic are injured will come as a bitter blow to West Ham. Masuaku may have apologised yesterday afternoon, but at a crucial point of the season he has let down himself, his teammates and his manager. Some might even regard May 11, 2013 as the sporting highlight of their lives. And it continues to resonate. The millennials following Wigan with a passion later in life will quite possibly owe that intensity of feeling to one day in May. Not a series of grim battles for survival. There will be fewer in Wigan wearing the red of Manchester United because who gets distracted by the bright lights? Having seen their hometown win the FA Cup, and what will Wigan celebrate in 10, 20, 25 years? The glorious 15th place in 2012 or the Wembley victory a year later? Cup finals are worth decades of mediocrity. Growing up watching West Ham, the relegation battles roll into a blurred one. But 1975, 1980, even the final defeats in 1976 and 1981 stand out like beacons in the darkness. West Ham fans are watching ordinary football in a stadium many of them hate. If Moyes cannot see what a proper swing at their first trophy in 37 years would mean to the club, he has not got the imagination for the job. Maybe there are Wigan fans who would rather have maintained a steady 16th and not defeated Roberto Mancini's Manchester City that day. Might they be the ones mocked in taunts about having only come to see United? Though I want to say sorry for my actions yesterday. I let down my teammates, the manager, coaches, board and fans. I am very sad because the manager and coaches have put a lot of faith in me, but I will work very hard to try to win that back. It was in the heat of the moment and out of character for me, but I know it was totally unacceptable and I will learn from the first red card of my career. For really, apart from occasionally getting to watch Alexis Sanchez or Harry Kane, what is the point of a mediocre existence near the bottom of the league? Star spotting and lining the owner's pockets, that is what mere survival amounts to. If you have come for your team, who cares if they are playing Southampton or Shrewsbury? Certainly at Wigan, whose 40 seasons as a league club have included just 8 in the Premier League. Yes, of course they would have loved to stay up in 2012-13, but to exchange it for the FA Cup, the only major trophy the club has won. the springboard to the lone European campaign in Wigan's history, one that put their club in a draw with Dynamo Kiev, Valencia, Lazio and PSV Eindhoven. Moyes lost Saturday's game when he treated that glory as inconvenience. If he had ever won a trophy, he might not be so dismissive of what those rare and wonderful moments mean.